Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Welcome today. Hope you're all having a great day out there. Let me make sure I get this up and running here on the old iPad so I can see who's joining the party. There we are. We're live, baby. We are good to have you with us today. Steve Downey, I see, checking in. Let me get to the, see if I can get this thing to cooperate here a little bit. There we go. Who else we got today? Kara, how are you? Thanks for being here. Stephanie Rumke in the house. There's Steve Downey's. Good to see you all with us. If you're out there, guys, say hey, make a comment. Let us know you're in the house. Let's see. A couple other folks watching. I don't see any comments from them. Dirk Turner in the house. Thank you for being here. Kayla, how are you? Good to have you with us. All right, guys, we'll get it started. It's Top 5 Tuesday today. The topic is going to be fun for this one. But while we're hanging there, I want to make sure I give a shout out to all the folks that we know down in Southwest Florida. This is where actually Southwest Florida, right in the path of the hurricane right now, is where we started this all around town radio thing. In Fort Myers Beach. And I was just right before we went on, I was just texting back and forth with one of my captain friends down there. In fact, he's sending me more messages, trying to convince him not to ride this thing out on the island because, they've been missed several times. Hurricane Charlie came through, put about 3 foot of storm surge on the island, but this one they're calling for 8 to 12, and now they've said that before and it hasn't happened, and that's what all these people think that live down there. That's not going to happen. But if it does, can you imagine 12 feet of water coming across an island? It's only in some places 2 or 3 football fields wide, maybe, if that. Yeah, bad stuff. How you doing, Doug? Thanks for dropping by. I appreciate that. What's Kara got to say here? I hope you make it, Kara. I hope you do. For sure. You've still got enough points to make the finals, though. I get it. Hope you feel better. And, a lot of stuff going on. Just got called to my attention, too, that trivia on Wednesday that we do. One of our final ones is going to be at the end of the October, and that's the same night as Trick or Treat here locally. So that may put a real kibosh on that night. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens. See what Heather wants to do with that one. How come Sound and Lighting in the house? Good to have you with us. Thank you. Julie Rossello is back. Happy Tuesday to you, Julie. Skip from Liars for Hire here. Scotty Long, DJ Songs in the house. So today's topic for Top 5 Tuesday, and again, I just want to give a big shout out to our folks down there in Southwest Florida. We still have several that watch the show. And for those that are down there, please be safe. And I know some of our former trivia players that live down there, they were posting that they were leaving and heading to Mississippi. So that is good because it's not the place to be right now. Patrick Witt, how are you? Thank you for being here. Great to see you over the weekend, too, at the Art Institute. Yeah, I'm having a little gravelly voice issue today too, but it's nothing. I don't feel bad. I'm just doing a little gravel in my voice. So we'll see how it goes. Did a lot of talking over the weekend. Big event coming up on Sunday. I want to give a big plug for that we've got going on is the Women Who Rock. Tomorrow on the show live at noon tomorrow, Gary Hoey is going to be with me. And if you don't know who that is, look it up. I'm not going to get into it right now, but join us tomorrow for a sneak peek. Played with a lot of big stars. Great. Listed as one of the best rock guitarists out there. And yeah, there's a young lady from Vixen going to be there. And some other folks that are going to be playing that event on Sunday at the Bell and the Bear. So it'll be fun. And it's benefiting. Basically, it's a women's benefit for domestic violence victims and those who need counseling for that. And it's going to be a wonderful event. I'll be co-hosting that with Bridget Rock from 96 Rock in Cincinnati. She and I both worked it last year. We had a blast together, and all we're doing, baby, is selling stuff. That's our job. We're selling tickets, raffle tickets, and all that, and introducing bands as they come on, the acts. Some wonderful female artists from Cincinnati going to be there on Sunday. Starts music. Doors are open at noon. Music starting at 2, and the big show goes about 3 o'clock into the 6 or 7 o'clock hours. But all it's going to be. So if you want to get down there and give a little bit, we'd appreciate it. Give what you want at the door and buy some great raffle tickets. Barrel full of high-end liquor. Barrel. Did you hear that? A giant barrel full. And some other great prizes, including a little secret thing we've got going for some raffles that's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, could be. Yeah, I know. I really got the gravel going. I could do me some Cody Jinks songs or something today. I could. Hi, Jim. Thanks for being here. There. Maybe I can warm these vocal cords up a little bit. But Rhonda, thank you for joining us today. Let's get going into Top 5 Tuesday, guys. And this is one where we just have some fun with it. And today, one of the bands that always is the most popular when you hear people play. I heard some bands play over the weekend. And I think every night I was out, just about, I caught somebody playing a Van Halen song. And today we are going to do Top 5 Tuesday, the top Van Halen songs pre-Hagar. Top Van Halen songs pre-Hagar today. Scotty Long's calling this Tuesday Booze Day. Boy, I don't know. I'm too old for that anymore. I barely can do Friday and Saturday booze days. Yes. Hi, Barry. We'll see you tomorrow night, man. Glad to have you on here. But we're going to talk about Van Halen for a minute, and I want your votes for your favorite Van Halen song for the Top 5 Tuesday today. So throw them in there if you've got one. But again, we're talking Van Halen prior to Hagar. All right. Kara throwing in an eruption vote. Thank you for the first one today. Hitting that one in there. I'll give you my list later. Lozenges needed. Well, I got to be well for Sunday for sure, but and for tonight and tomorrow night as well. Do a lot of talking at those. Hot for Teacher getting a vote in there. Barry, thank you for that one. Skip saying Panama. Okay. I'll take that one. They had a lot of songs, man, before Hagar. So a lot of hits too. So keep them coming. Panama getting another vote from Doug. Thank you for that, Doug. And Eddie Van Halen, rest in peace, Eddie. Invented modern rock guitar, man. He did. His style, his tapping, all that. So yeah, Eruption is going to be on the list. It's going to be on the list somewhere. Jim saying beat it. Well, yeah, technically, but not credited to Van Halen. But I'll give you credit for that though. That's creative. It is. And they were called hair metal back in the day, but I don't know. I'd classify them more under the glam rock category back then. If you want to give it a bad name, that's it. Hair metal's a derogatory term basically for the music of the 80s that was rock and roll. Scotty Long, Drop Dead Legs was your jam. All right. And and we've had this conversation. We're not going to get into the Van Halen thing, because we all know that David Lee Roth was the showman. Sammy Hagar was the vocalist. I will say that all day long. But I have to also say that I've seen Sammy Hagar a bunch recently, and Sammy Hagar is quite a performer as well at 70 something. He's still rocking it out. And what was Dave doing? Working as an EMT in New York or something? I don't know. So, yeah, he's been back out on the road. But David Lee Roth, it was more of a flash in the pan, so to speak. DOA getting a vote. Thank you for that. And Unchained, Patrick throwing in there. Kara, what you got? Everybody wants someone running with the devil. Thank you for those. Miss Kara. Are those coming from Rob or are those yours? That's what I want to know. You never know when Rob's in the background. So, yeah, we're just here on Top 5 Tuesday, guys. We just do it to have fun on a Tuesday and nothing really major to talk about other than our friends who are dealing with the hurricane down in Southwest Florida. And, it's where All Around Town Radio got its start. And it's a nice place there. We used to live there, loved it. Beautiful island. But, man, they can't take an 8 or 10 foot storm surge. It would destroy everything there, including our former home. It would. Hi, Shelly. Good to see you over the weekend. What a party. I want to know the workout your friend does. We'll leave it at that. She's a dancer, man. I was joking. My knees would blow out if I did some of the moves she was doing. Yes, Patty. She's wonderful. All right, Barry. Unchained. All right, getting a vote in there for that one. We're talking about, if you're just joining the show, we're talking about Van Halen prior to Hagar songs. And what's your favorite one? Throw it in there because I'll give you my top 5 list, maybe my top 10 list here in just a minute. Carrie says, hello, group. That is not a Van Halen song, Carrie, but hello. Thanks for being here. Man, I'm going to have to get a voice before tonight. Did you hear that? That sounded like Peter Brady when it's time to change there for a minute. What is happening? Jamie's crying. There we go. All right. Ain't talking about love. Got to be one of their all-time favorites. Patrick says yes. Yes. Patty is a riot. She's beyond being a riot. She is an absolute gem. She is. We love her. I could watch her dance all night. And she is the life of the party everywhere she goes. Yes, sir. Absolutely. All right, guys, those of you just stepping into the program, let's see who's on here. Hi, Holly. Thanks for joining us. Jimmy Kilroy, Chris Thompson in the house. Chris, I know you've got something to throw in there. Nick, throw it in there. We're talking about Van Halen songs prior to Hagar. What's your top 1 today on Top 5 Tuesday? What's your top Van Halen tune? Holly says jump. How's the dancing business, Holly? You doing all right? Yes, jump is a good one. That's when they went to keyboards. That was interesting. See, EVH on a keyboard. Interesting stuff. Somebody get me a doctor. Yes, somebody get me a doctor for this throat. I don't know what's happening. Got the crud. You really got me, Shelly. Thank you for that one. That's a good one. Running with the devil. Had a few votes earlier. Chris Thompson throwing the obscure one in here. Let's see what he's got. Little guitars. Thank you for that. Thank you, sir. Hi, Jimmy. How are you? Jim Kilroy in the house. What do we got? Hi, Shane. So many. Yes, I would agree with that. So Van Halen, I mean, let's face it, there would have been no Van Hagar without Van Halen. Let's just throw that out there too, because those guys still would have been playing bars somewhere and Sammy might have been playing with other bands, But Sammy Hagar's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking him at all. In fact, I think he's a great vocalist, but his whole thing with Van Halen totally changed the group. I mean, it changed their whole image, their whole sound. Sammy, totally different thing than David Lee flying across the stage on a wire, singing his songs and doing those crazy things for the 80s videos on MTV. They are. Well, let me get started with some of my list because I'm going to have to keep the voice intact a little bit for tonight here, it sounds like. And we'll do that. Hot for Teacher getting another vote. Thank you for that, Jim. So if you've got a vote, get them in quick. Throw them in here if you've got your favorite Van Halen prior to Hagar song. I'm going to throw myself to the wolves here. And on my list, my top 10 list today, I'm going to give you number 10, a little teaser. But number 10 from 1978. 1978. How many people are old enough to remember that? Raise your hand. 1978. Let's do Eruption at number 10. I'm going to get hate mail for that one. Eruption at number 10. Eddie Van Halen guitar tapping, though. I mean, two-handed tapping, flutter picking, as they called it, whammy bar tricks, all the things, both harmonics and audio effects. Eruption popularized tapping, it did. But that's at number 10 on my list. Now, some of you will say that should be higher. Gary, how are you? I almost did Kiss today, Gary, but I didn't think you might be here, so I left it off until I talked to you. Hot for Teacher. Yes, thank you for that. I got you. One said high for the teacher, one said hot for teacher. It's okay, because typos are allowed. All right, my number 10 is Eruption. My number 9 is going to sound interesting. From 1980, Women and Children First album. It's going to be Romeo Delight. What do you think about that, people? I'm bringing out a few not commonly played Van Halen tunes to throw it in here. Yes. But, you know, still had David Lee in there on that one. Absolutely. So Romeo Delight taking the number 9 spot today. Number 9 spot. And, you know, Van Halen was a huge album. It was awesome. What do we got here? Trying to see what you're doing in here. What have I got here? Catfish throwing one in. Mean Street. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. All right, I'll take that one. I will. Scotty says he enjoys listening to Eruption. Nothing better. Lead guitar of a big hair band. Well, yeah. And you know something else I really love with guitar work, and we could talk all day on it, but I love the dueling guitar thing, like Skynyrd had, you know, those kind of things. Those are cool. Boston, just some fun stuff when they did that dueling guitar work. Anything before 1985, Sammy joined in 85. Thank you for that bit of history, Gary. Appreciate that. Chris Thompson, what do you got to say? I said little guitars was obscure. Yeah, well, you know, I didn't say I wouldn't be obscure like you. I didn't. But it's fun to throw in a few wild ones. I mean, let's go to number 8. You want to go at something that people aren't listening to today. And that was from Van Halen in 1978, and it's called On Fire. I'm going to give it the number 8 spot today, because I'm kind of a Van Halen fan. Yes, fanatic, so to speak. Steve Short, thanks for joining us today. Steve Wick, thank you. Desolate, shameless plug for them. Follow their page, people, and see where they're playing. Awesome band. Outstanding band. Desolate. All right, number 7 for me. Where you at, Chris Thompson? My number 7 today, Little Guitars. From Diver Down in 1982. That one takes it today. How about that? We take it? Little Guitars. You guys are all saying, why is he picking all these songs? Well, you know, Little Guitars, kind of middle ground song for Van Halen. It is. What do we got here? Ross saw Van Halen in 1979 at Duluth Arena. Was it good? I bet it was great. In 1979, that's when they were at the peak of their early career. They were. Yes, Chris, I agreed with you on that one. Oh, Vern is in the house. Here's a guy who knows his Van Halen as well. If you don't know Vernon, you should, because he is a music aficionado. You can't hardly stump Vern unless you play country. Glenn likes my picks so far. Okay, that was number 7 for me on my list. Number 6, I'm going to throw in there everybody's favorite from 1984, Panama. Panama going to take the number 6 spot. What will be the number 1 today? Oh, yes, that'll be the real question. Yes. To this day, best show ever, 1979. There you go, Ross, man. I saw him at Hera Arena in Dayton. Yes, sirree. Gary says, trivia question. Who discovered Van Halen? Wanna bet it's Kiss? I'm just going to say that. I am. Thank you, Vernon, for that one. Scotty Long throwing Jump in the mix. Do you like the keyboards on Van Halen? I mean, I love their guitar work. The keyboard thing in Jump kind of threw me for a loop a little bit. It did. It did. It made them more popish to me. Number 5 for me, from 1979, Van Halen 2 album here, Dance the Night Away, at the number 5 spot as we get into the top 5. I didn't even play my top 5 intro music. That's how into this I am today. I'm just so there. Where am I at here? All right, that's it. Let's do it. Let's start over. All right, we'll start over. And now the top 5 Van Halen Before Hagar songs. Number 5, Dance the Night Away from 1979. Van Halen 2. Vernon's going to like my choices. He is. He's going to like most of my choices, I think. Gene Simmons discovered them, Gary said. How did I know it would be Kiss? Yes, absolutely. Chris Thompson says he'll wait for the number 1. I don't know. You can throw it in there, whatever. I'd like somebody to give me a voice today, if you would. Number 4 from me from Fair Warning. 1981 on this one. Unchained. Listen to the date ranges of these. I mean, 78, 79, 80, 81, man. Huge years for Van Halen prior to Hagar. Absolutely. Unchained. Doing it. And yeah, Fair Warning was a little bit of a change for Van Halen, man. It kind of took a turn there. So, you know, Eddie Van Halen using drop tuning and some other things in that. That was interesting. So we'll do it. Unchained at number 4. Number 3. Lunch is in your top. I'm sorry. Unch is in your top. You're screwing me up here. I can't see to begin with. And now I'm trying to read your comments and print about that big. Thank you. Lunch Unchained is in your top 5. Thank you, Vernon. I'm glad you agree with me. Chris Thompson is waiting patiently for that. But number 3 from 1984, everybody's favorite video, Van Halen of all time, Hot for Teacher. I mean, the video made the song. Song's great. I mean, the drum, everything's just great, but I'm going to say Hot for Teacher, one of their biggest popular hits of all time. Van Halen prior to Hagar. Yes. You know, you all think of all the education you've missed, but your homework was never quite like this. That was my number 3, as I quote Van Halen lyrics for you. Kara says 100%. Thank you for that, Kara. Yes. The chicks in bikinis made the videos. Well, 80s metal chicks in bikinis made all the videos, you know, or, I mean, I just saw Motley Crue this year and man, what do they call those girls? Somebody will know the name. I can't remember it now, but the hot chicks, as they're known, or whatever they are, the hookers, the hookers on stage dancing for Motley Crue. They personified debauchery from the 80s. Ginger Smith, thank you for joining us. Jeremiah, thanks for being here today. Jeffrey, thank you for joining us. Yes. Most covered Van Halen song in clubs, Hot for Teacher. Oh, that's interesting. I'm wondering if that's true. I'm going to take it from you as being true. Kara says fluff girls. Oh boy, we are going to hell for this one today. We are. All right. You're the one singing harmonies, Steve says. Okay. I like it. All right, let me keep moving, guys. Going to get you to my number 2, the song that absolutely made me become a huge super fan of Van Halen. From 1978, from Van Halen, the original album, Van Halen, Running with the Devil, taking the number 2 spot today. You got to give that one props. Just the way it started, the bass line, oh my gosh, what a song. What a song. And, you know, we were already in the 70s to live our life like there was no tomorrow. Another line from the song. Yes. All right. I'm trying to read your comments here, guys. They're getting there. The song, I'm the one. Okay. I got you. I got you now. I'm a little slow today. Chris says the most covered is Panama. Interesting. Yeah, that'd be a whole thing to see what everybody thinks on that one. And then there's people like Seven West who joined the party. Hi, Seven. Who have no clue what we're talking about because they weren't even thought of then in these days of early Van Halen. Thank you, Vernon, for that one. He says, nice pick on that one. It always makes my heart happy when Vern agrees with me, especially when it comes to Van Halen, because I know I could put on a Van Halen song, no matter how obscure at trivia, and he'd get it right. Yes. Have I ever heard the Dolly Parton song, Ain't No Knickers Like No Knickers? No, I haven't. I haven't. Should I? Or is that a parody? I don't know. And Vicky's saying Running with the Devil's number 1. Oh, well, Running with the Devil is my number 2. So we can agree to disagree. We can. Because I have put an obscure one in at number 1. I have. You may like it, you may not. What do you think number 1's going to be? Somebody throw it in there real quick because I got to run here in a minute. But if you think you know what number 1 is, it's from Women and Children First. I will give you that hint. Women and Children First. Vernon saying Main Street. No, not that one, but that would be a good one. Yes. 7 was in. I'm not even going to read that. Okay. Romeo Delight was down there on the list. It was on my list down at number 9, I think. It was. How about this? Anybody know what that was? Did anybody hear that? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. I'm just going to call that one. Everybody wants some. Ted Martin. He wins today. You're the winner. You're the winner, Ted.
We have a winner.
Yes. Ted Martin. That's my number 1 Van Halen song on my list. Heavy guitar track. Yes. It was for lack of a better term, back in those days, a sex celebration. It was. It's a crazy song, okay? And it always ranks up there, though, in like the top 100 classic rock songs of all time. I mean, it's in there. A lot of people don't know it. Yes. It's interesting. So there. That's crazy. Jungle bass, if you want to call it that, in there. So that's my Van Halen list today. Coming in at number 5 on the list, Dance the Night Away. Unchained at number 4. Hot for Teacher at number 3. Running with the Devil at number 2, and the number 1 song, Everybody Wants Some. And not the Billy Squier version. No. Everybody Wants You. Right. Thank you, Ted, for the list, love. I appreciate that. Guys, that's it. That's going to wrap it up for today. I will be heading down to Mr. Burroughs Tavern here in just a few minutes to host Quiztastic Tuesday Trivia. If you want to join me, please come out and have some fun with us. That happens 7 to 9:30 tonight. I hope to see your faces there. If not, I'll see you Wednesday. Name That Tune Trivia at Heather's, 7 o'clock, same time. Get a reservation for that one, though, so you can make sure you're under the tent, and wear a sweatshirt tomorrow night because it's gone from 90 degrees last week, 100-degree heat index, to the 60s tomorrow. Be a little chill in the air, but we'll have some fun with it. So hope to see you then. Don't forget, tomorrow noon, we'll be live. We're bringing you some folks talking about Women Who Rock that's going on Sunday at the Bell and the Bear. We'd love you to join us for that one. Help us raise some big money that day. Last year, raising over $18,000 in one day for women who have experienced domestic violence and their support, shelter, and counseling. So we would love to have you there for that. Please join us on Sunday. Thursday, we'll be bringing you the list, as we call it, who's playing out the best musicians in the tri-state and venues. So thank you all for that. Vernon says, who day for Thursday? That works for me. And we'll be back tomorrow, guys, at noon. Join us then. Until then, have a great day. We're signing off. I'm Scott Hall, your host. We'll see you next time here at Hall Around Town Radio.